what I thought we would do today is do something quite gentle, something quite careful. So we'll start off on our mats. And obviously you always work in a way that feels comfortable for you. Yoga is about making you feel better, more comfortable in your body and in yourself. So if we start by sitting, so you can have your legs in front or however's comfortable for you. The knees can be a little bit bent if you have anything going on in your lower back, and just rock a little bit from side to side, just kind of feeling ease, I suppose, trying to find a bit of ease in the position. And then just allowing yourself to stop, come to centre, and the hands can rest on your knees or thighs or either side, doesn't really matter, however you feel. And then just rolling your shoulders up and back, and maybe rolling the ankles at the same time, just getting that sense of ease in your body as you roll the shoulders. And then as you change the direction, maybe rolling the shoulders forward, change the direction that you're rolling your ankles in. So getting that sense as well that our body works as a whole. Nothing really works in isolation. It's just that kind of idea, isn't it, that every action has a consequence. And then stop. Just allow yourself to rest. And then just let the head drop or the left ear come towards the left. Soften your gaze and feel that stretch or that pull down the right side of the neck, just through the weight of your head. Then bring your head back to centre and let the weight of your head just drop to the right. So just allowing the right ear, it's not going to come all the way to the right shoulder. If you want it to, just bring the right shoulder up. So just maybe circle the right shoulder, circle the left shoulder, having that sense of ease through the shoulders. And then just let your head come back up to centre. And then just turn your head from side to side carefully, being aware of the space between your chin and the shoulder. And then when you're ready, let your head come to centre. And your gaze is just maybe beyond the toes. And just let the chin just drop down. And really let go. And maybe round the spine a little bit, so just turn. Maybe round your spine a little bit. So really allowing the weight of your head. And feel the curves of the spine, because your spine is a curve. 4 different curves to the spine. And ever so carefully, as you lift the head, just let the shoulders roll a little bit. And then just stop and allow yourself just to notice how that feels in the back of your head. And imagine the back of your head, maybe you can place your hand on the back of the head or both hands on the back of the head, and just lean the head, back of the head, back into the hands. As though the back of the head can more or less be in line with the tailbone. And then carefully take the hands down, let the right hand come to rest just by the right hip or to the side. And we're just going to allow the right shoulder to drop towards the right hip. And maybe the right elbow will come down, or maybe not. And then just come back up, swap hands. So the left hand just resting, and the left shoulder sinks towards the left hip. Maybe the elbow comes down, and maybe not. So it's only between 2 panes of glass, just doing a bit of a side bend. And then coming back up. And now we're going to take the right fingertips on the floor by the right hip. Let the left hand come to rest on the top of the head. And as you allow the right shoulder to sink towards the right hip, maybe, just turn the gaze down to look towards the right side or the right arm. And then maybe turn the head to look up towards the ceiling. Circle the left shoulder around a little bit, really having that sense you're opening the left side of the body. So when you breathe in, feel the breath in the left side of the lungs, underneath the armpit, and maybe even around the back of the ribs, breathing in. And as you breathe out, just come back to centre. It's a really nice one in opening up different parts of the lung spaces. And then just allow the left hand to come to rest on the floor, and the right hand can rest on the top of the head. You can turn your gaze down towards that left hand, and as the left shoulder sinks towards the left hip, you feel that length down the right side of the body. And you can lift the left elbow. Try not to lean into it. The left elbow might not come down. It's fine if you're just kind of leaned over a little bit. If it's okay, just turn your gaze, look up towards the ceiling. Circle the right elbow. Maybe send the right elbow back a little bit. So can you feel that through the shoulder blade? And then stop and just allow the weight of the right elbow to sink down into the right shoulder. Breathe in. Feel the breath in the right side of the body. Breathe in. down through the heels. And then as you breathe out, come back up. And then just for a few moments, just stop. Just with the spine central, head resting on top. And then from here, just take the feet or legs a little bit wider and just bend the knees. Bend the knees. Lean back. It's going to rock the knees to the right. Come to centre. Rock the knees to the left. And just carrying on. Just rocking the knees either side. And as the knees rock to the left, take your gaze, soft, soft gaze to the left. As the knees rock to the right, take the soft, soft gaze to the right. As the knees rock to the left, take the right arm forward and your gaze can follow the right fingertips as you take the right fingertips behind you and just lightly tap the floor behind you. Soft, soft gaze. Bring the right arm up, come back. As the knees go to the right, left arm lifts and the gaze, soft gaze follows the fingertips and the fingertips just lightly touch the floor behind you. And then just rocking in this way from side to side. And knowing that you're using this to free up the shoulders and to find a bit of mobility in the spine. And also you're kind of massaging the lower spine, finding a bit of weight in the lower spine as well, just through that connection with the floor, to allow the upper spine to release a little bit more. And we're going to go back to this one at the end. So you don't think of holding it, you're just kind of moving as lightly as possible from side to side. And then when you're ready, we're just going to come back onto our backs, I should say, as easily as possible. So just coming to rest down onto the floor and keeping the soles of your feet kind of planted on the floor as though you're about to stand. And just having a sense of connection through the soles of the feet, the base of the big toe, little toe and the heels, resting down into the floor. Take your attention to the right foot and lightly push down into the right foot to send the right knee far away. And then stop pushing down into the right foot, let the right leg just kind of rest back to where it was before. And now taking your attention to the right knee, just imagine you've got something balanced on top of the knee. So you don't want to, maybe a glass of water or something, so you try not to spill anything. And as you push down into the right foot, try not to move the knee, and you might feel your hip start to come up. And then lower. Make sure you're breathing, and maybe because perhaps you're not used to these movements, we can work with our breath. So keeping your knee still so there's something balanced lightly on top of the knee. Down into the right foot. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, let go. Let the hip lightly come back onto the floor. And on the in-breath, if it feels nice to work with your breath, down into the right foot to lift the right hip. And as you breathe out, let go. You're going to find some movement through the knee and through the rest of the body, and ultimately that's what we're looking for. So let's do the same with the left. So maybe lift up the left foot or wiggle the left foot around a little bit and then stop. So really having that sense of your left foot connected, rested into the floor. And we're going to imagine there's a glass of water or something resting on, or a cup of tea or coffee resting on your knee. So we're trying not to spill that liquid. So as we go down into the left foot, try not to move the knee, and you might feel that connection through the hip. It's really good ones at finding connections and freeing up muscles, strengthening muscles around the hip. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, let go. Rest, sink, settle, all those kind of words. And then just continue down into the left foot and find that connection through the left hip. Maybe breathe in, and then as you breathe out, let go. And just continue to work with that a few more times. Just settling in and being these small conscious movements really allow us to find movements from a deeper place, to allow us to be present, to allow you and us to be here. And then when you're ready and the hip comes down or both hips settle, you're going to take your attention to your right arm. You're going to take your right arm up and let the right arm come on the floor above your head. Now the elbow can be quite bent, palm turned up. If you don't like it, if there's anything going on with your shoulder, then You keep the arm down and let the arm come to rest on the ribs. The left arm down by your side, palm facing up, if possible the right arm on the floor above your head. And then when you're ready, you're going to stretch the right arm away. If you can't stretch the arm, then draw the shoulder up. As the right arm goes up, stretch the left shoulder or left arm down. Left fingertips down, right fingertips along the floor above your head. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let go. And just feel them shortening, coming back towards the spine. On the in-breath, stretch or send the right fingertips along the floor above your head. Send the left fingertips down, down, down towards the feet, along the floor. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let go. Feeling that sliding through the shoulder blades, and just continue stretching the right fingertips above the head, beyond the left fingertips towards the feet, away from the centre of the spine. So you're stretching diagonally through the centre of the spine. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, let go. And let's see if we can just kind of integrate that or connect that through to the movements with the feet. So take your attention down through to your right foot, down into the right foot. As you send the right fingertips away, as you send the left fingertips away, down into the right foot. So all those connections from the heel, through the toes, through the spine, to the shoulders, to the fingertips. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let go. And maybe just one more time, just on the right side. Down into the right foot. Try not to move the knee, so you feel that movement through the hip to the centre of the spine. Send the right fingertips away, sliding away from the shoulder blade. Send the left fingertips away, sliding through the shoulder blade. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, let go. And everything comes back and settles. Then we're going to take the right arm down, if the right arm is above. Take the left arm up, palm facing up. So obviously, you know, we all have things going on with our shoulders and our neck. So if it's not nice for you to take the left arm above your head, you can keep the left arm down, but just think of moving the shoulder. So if possible, left arm above, right arm below. So the right, and palms are facing up. So that just kind of rotates the shoulder blades in a beneficial way. So first of all, send the left arm away along the floor if possible, the left shoulder up. And the right fingertips down, as though you could reach your toes, through the toes. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, let go. And then just continue. You can use your breath, or you don't have to use your breath at all, really, because the breath changes anyway. Send the right fingertips away from, left fingertips away above the head, right fingertips away towards the toes. And then let go. And your attention, your awareness is with what's happening through the shoulder blades and through the hip. And if you can, if it feels all right, the next time when you let go of the stretching through the arms or the pushing through the arms, go down into the left foot. Imagine there's something balanced on the left knee. And as you go down into the left foot, send the left fingertips above the head, send the right fingertips along the floor below. So really feeling that connection from the heel through the spine towards the fingertips. And on that stretch you can breathe in. And as you breathe out you can let go. And the arms shorten and connect back towards the spine. They're really good ones at finding space around the tight joints and the scapula, all around the shoulders. And then just continue down into the left foot to send the left fingertips away from. Down into the left foot to send the right fingertips towards or beyond the toes, along the floor away from you. This big diagonal lengthening through all the fascia and the ligaments and the tendons in the body and through the spine. And then let go. And then bring the left arm down, both palms facing up, and just stop. Well done. Just stop. And just notice how that feels in your shoulders, or your hips, or your feet even. And then when you're ready, we're going to cross the right knee on top of the left knee. If it's okay with your knees, if you don't like this, you don't have to cross them, just bring the knees a little bit closer. Then we're going to take the right arm above you, like you did before. Right arm on the floor above you, left arm resting down by your side. And you're just going to carefully, just the weight of the knees, you're just going to rock a little bit towards the right. So right knee's on top, rock a little bit towards the right. Little bit, and then come back up. Or think of just going onto the inside edge of the left foot. inside edge of the left foot to send the knees to the right a little bit. Let the weight of the knees drop, I suppose, be heavy, and then come back up. Now start to feel what's happening in your body. As the knees drop over towards the right, feel the weight going down into the right shoulder. As the knees drop to the right, knee and the arm drops, the weight drops into the right shoulder. And if possible, send the right shoulder away from you, or the right arm away from you, and the left fingertips down, just as you did before. Then as the knee comes back up, let go. And then just maybe once or twice more. As the right knee, as the knees drop towards the right, you come onto the inside edge of the left foot, send the right arm above, send the left arm below. And don't think of holding, just think of feeling, being aware, stopping and resting in awareness. And when you come up, bring the knees back up and you stop, notice. So we're just training ourselves to feel what's happening with our body right now. So becoming in tune with our body is really important for health. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the arm down and just swap knees. So left knee goes on top, left arm goes overhead. Both palms facing up if possible. If it's uncomfortable, I'll say it again, if it's uncomfortable to take the arm above your head, you don't have to, but let the hand rest on the ribs and move the shoulder. So when you're ready, the left knee just drops towards the left, and you're just looking to feel the weight of the knee. Or both knees, I should say, drop towards the left, and you're on the inside edge of the right foot. You're looking to feel the weight of the knee, and that allows the hips to change, I suppose, to find movement and different movements in the muscles of the hips and joints of the hips and the pelvis, and then bring the legs back up. And if it feels doable, if you're kind of enjoying it, because I always love these kind of movements, as the knees drop over towards the left and you're feeling the weight of the knees, send the left arm along the floor, because you're really feeling the weight of that left shoulder as the knees go towards the left. Send the right arm, fingertips down, and then come back up. And when you come back up, release any kind of stretch through the shoulders, and maybe just once or twice more, really having that sense of movement. They're really good ones at releasing tension in the shoulders and through the spine. And all of us at the moment, well, you're lucky if you're not suffering from tension in your shoulders and your neck. Maybe once more. As the knees drop to the left, and don't think of holding, just think of feeling. As the knees drop to the left fingertips stretch above you, the right fingertips stretch below. And soften your face. Soften or widen the area between the brows. Soften the forehead. Feel your breath. And then come back up. And then uncross. Take the arm down and just settle there for a few moments, just feeling the points of contact with your body on the floor, just noticing. And then when you're ready, the left arm's going to go on the floor above your head again. Bring the ankles together and just come over onto your left side. So the left arm above your head, just coming over onto your left side. And the right hand can just rest in front of you, just to support you. If your head's uncomfortable, you can put a pillow or something there as well. And then just for a few moments, settle and feel the weight going down into the left ribs. Feel the weight of the right shoulder sinking down into the left shoulder and the weight of your body resting into the left ribs. Now if it feels okay, let the right hand come to rest around. So the right hand kind of rests towards the left ear or on the top of the head or something like that. And keep your gaze soft, or you can close your eyes. Be aware of your breath coming in and leaving, and just breathe as you do. As you ever so carefully lift the right head up, you can use your hand to take the weight of the head and feel the weight of your body sink into the left rib, left side of the ribs, and ever so carefully lower the head. Let the weight of your knees rest as you ever so carefully lift the head up. Let the weight sink down into the left side of the ribs and then lower the head. And maybe just once or twice more. Be careful and go quite slowly. So we're looking to find the connections between the base of the ribs, the centre of the spine, the neck, the crown of the head. A really good one to releasing tension around the shoulders and the upper part of the spine. And often the less you do, the quieter you work, the more benefits there are to your body. And then when the head comes down next time, just stop and just roll onto your back. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So if you take your right arm up, that's it, lovely, take your right arm up and just roll over onto your right side. So we're looking to find the weight of the connection in the right side of the ribs. The head, your head can rest onto the arm, the right arm. Bring the left hand in front of you at first, just to make sure that you can kind of feel settled there. Because you can keep your hand there, you don't have to take the hand on the top of your head if you don't want to. Now let the weight of your knees kind of stabilise you to allow the ribs, the right side of the ribs, to really, really settle down. If it's okay, let the left hand come to rest around the head or on the top of the head, or my arms are quite long, so the hand goes towards my ear. You can work with your breath if you like. Be aware of your breath coming in. And as you breathe out, lift the head. Really allow the weight of the ribs to sink into the floor. And as the breath comes in, you can just lower, or just work in a pace or in a rhythm that feels all right for you. And really being aware, you're trying to give the weight of your shoulders and the weight of your ribs to the floor. You're not trying to do anything else but release tension. You're not trying to find or tie yourself up in knots or do anything particularly, but just let go of all the tightness that's around our shoulders and our neck. And this is a really good movement of finding the connection through to the base of the lungs. Maybe once or twice more, lifting the head and lowering. But your attention is on the base of the ribs, the sides of the ribs. And then when you're ready and the head comes down, really allow the weight of your head to be given. The left hand can come to rest just in front of you again. And just stop for a few moments, settle. And then when you're ready, just come over onto your back, as we were before. So soles of your feet kind of planted on the floor, hands come to rest down by your side. And if it's okay, take the hands a little bit wider and turn your palms down. And again, just imagine you've got those like sort of glasses of water or cups of tea resting on the tops of your knees. So when you go down into the feet, we're thinking of sending the knees up, and that will lift the hips. So down into the feet, and really allow the weight of your shoulders to be given down. So your spine will start to lift. The movement starts from the heels, coming up through the knees, through the thighs, to the hips, to the spine, down into the shoulders. But there's a feeling of long, long neck, and really allow yourself to feel the weight of your shoulders. Maybe take the arms a little bit wider, really having a sense of space between the shoulders and around the shoulders and underneath the shoulders. And imagine your knees coming up as the heels rest down. And your chin might come down towards your collarbones, but the back of the neck is long. So really having a sense of long spine from the base of the skull all the way down through to the tailbone and beyond. And ever so carefully, you lower. And when your spine comes down, you stop and you allow the weight of your spine to be given to the floor. And you know that what's beneath you, the ground, the earth, supports you. Maybe just one more time, down through the toes, base of the toes, big toe, little toe and heel, in through the hips to the spine, to lift. And you're not trying to curl or force or tense or do anything, we're just feeling the connections from the heels, all the way through the legs to the spine and beyond. And your breathing, your breath, just works. Your body knows how to breathe. Our bodies know how to be healthy. It's often just our lifestyle or our things that we think we have to do that changes. And then ever so carefully you lower and you stop. And know that the stopping is far more important than doing. And then when you're ready, we're just going to roll over. And we're going to come to sit, and we're going to go back to that rotation that we started with. So the legs are in front of you. Take the feet a little bit wider, or bend the knees wide. So Just circle the ankles a little bit, move the shoulders. So just how we started, and just notice how you feel. Now, if there's any kind of difference, if you're a little bit more rested, or you might be cross with me for making you sit up. So just kind of notice how you feel, and the hands resting behind you. You're just going to rock the knees to the right, bring the knees back up, rock the knees to the left. Just doing that sort of quite easily, smoothly, rhythmically. Then the next time the knees rock or come over towards the right, and they can be as wide apart or as close together, doesn't really matter as you like. You're leaning into your right hand, bring the left arm forward. Now move the shoulder around a little bit, feel the connection from the left shoulder to the left hip and beyond. Your gaze is focused on the hand, soft gaze, and then just really allow your gaze to soften as you just take the left hand round towards the right and down to rest behind you. Take the right hand a little bit further round, just kind of like this, and your gaze is towards the right. Gaze is towards the right. And you just turn. Feel your breath, and then when you're ready, just come back to centre. Drop the knees to the left. You're leaning into the left hand. Lift the right arm up. Your gaze is soft, and just focus on your right hand. Relax the shoulder, move the shoulder. Your gaze is quite soft, focusing on that right hand. And as the right hand comes round towards the left, let your gaze follow. Let your gaze follow. But you can feel the turn from the centre of the spine. As the right hand comes down to rest behind you, you can take the left hand perhaps a little bit further round. You can be sitting up, or you can start to drop down a little bit, doesn't matter. You just feel the twist through the centre of your spine. And then when you're ready, just come back to centre. Bring the knees in front as you were before, just rock from side to side, and then just come to a comfortable seated position. So you can have the legs out in front just as we were already, or you can drop the knees to one side if you prefer that, one side or the other side, or sit cross-legged or kneel, or you can sit on a chair. So we're just going to work with our breath for a few moments. So however, or the legs can be out in front still. However you decide to sit, let the hands come to rest on the knees, circle your shoulders a few times, and then turn your palms up. Drop the chin towards your chest. So you're looking down towards the floor if it's okay to close the eyes. Then ever so carefully lift your shoulders up. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, drop the shoulders, lift the chin. So the chin or the jaw is just parallel to the floor. Almost as though the crown of the head is coming up, being pulled up towards the ceiling. But your tailbone can rest down towards the floor. The parts of contact of your feet in contact with the floor can just rest. The tailbone can rest. And then when you're ready, follow the pattern of your breath. So you breathe in. And can you feel your chest fill with air? Can you feel the belly fill with air? And there's that feeling of lift coming up. And then as you breathe out, can you feel what happens inside your body? Allow your shoulders to rest as the breath empties. And your body becomes more spacious. And then your breath comes in, and you feel all those spaces with oxygen, with breath, with life. You fill up your chest, you fill up the belly, all those spaces inside. And then as you breathe out, you allow all those spaces to be emptied. And you might get that sense of dropping, settling into the earth beneath. And then your breath returns. And then it leaves. And we just learn to enjoy the breath. We learn to just be with ourselves for a few moments. And in this way we learn to rest by doing as little as possible. You can stay here as long as feels right for you, or you can in your own time just gently start to open your eyes and come back to the rest of the day.